Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
We'll be bringing you an interconference matchup in this one as the Warriors take to the road. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Look at Indiana. Despite a very successful road trip, it's got to be nice to return home and play in front of their loyal fans.
And right now for the Pacers, it has taken no time for them to come together as a team. I mean, no time. There wasn't much being said about them preseason, but now everybody's got them in their radar.
Well, they couldn't have asked for a better start to their campaign. I mean, give credit to the coaching staff for customizing a game plan and system suited to the talent.
And the Pacers start off with the ball. For Lavoy Allen. Morris checked in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Ellis. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Draymond Green. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Setting the floor for the Warriors. We've got Thompson. Livingston is out there at Barbosa. Then there's Harrison Barnes. And it's Spates in at the 5 spot. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Here's our 2K leaderboard with the list of the teams that have been on fire from beyond the arc over the past month. Second, the Warriors. The Pacers in 5th.
And both of these teams are really lighting it up from long range, shooting with tremendous confidence. This is a great game to watch. You almost have to expect a shootout when they meet.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Moore with the block.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Here is Hill after the made shot from Klay Thompson. And Moore kicks to Hill. Kick out to Moore. Just 5 on the clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And here's Hill for 3. Second shot opportunity. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. And the Warriors making a change here. Bogut's checked in. Here is Livingston. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. 17 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It's stolen by Mahinmi. Moore right side. With 4 seconds on the clock. Second shot opportunity. Mahinmi's shot is good.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
And so lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Warriors lead by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
It was definitely a hard decision. I had to sit down with my family and weigh the options and really take the time to figure out what's best for me. It was tough. I mean, I loved my team, my coaches, and just the whole college experience, you know. But on the other hand, there's always a risk of injury, you know. I just felt like I was ready to take my game to the next level, so why wait? And I think it turned out for the best. No regrets.
Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all 4 years in college when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think, unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
1:46 left in the first half of basketball. Livingston dishes to Green. Barbosa against Stuckey. Livingston kicks to Barnes. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Man, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Moore passes to Hill. Back to Moore, and stolen by Spates. And it's the Warriors on the break. Livingston is running, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And a moment here to check out some of the stats for Freak. He's getting around 8 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And, guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And, fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully, this is a sign of greater things for the future.
That's good from Barnes. A nice bounce back here for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
Moore with the bucket. Last outing for Indiana. They won that game against the Utah Jazz.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
Feeds it to Mahinmi. Back to Moore. 6 on the shot clock. Got a piece of it. Here's Hill. And play stops as it looks like they call an over the back here.
Yeah, a bit over-eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
The Warriors have gone 6 of 9 at the line.
You know, it's been a bad day for them at the line today as a whole, and far too often, that's the case for this team.
19 seconds left to play here in the half. Hill dishes to Moore. It's back to Hill. Moore outside. 3 seconds left. And the shot is good. Dropping in off the front of the rim. Moore's got 7.
You have to be disciplined on defense, Kevin. Biting on every pump fake isn't going to get it done.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Warriors ahead, up 2. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. Tell us a bit about the philosophy behind your game and how this team works so well together.
Yeah, you know, I just try to come out and play my game and stay aggressive, you know. I need to score to help this team win. I think me and the perimeter players doing a good job of that.
Thank you, Klay. We so appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. You're playing with just the kind of aggressiveness I want to see at the offensive end. I love how often we're getting to the line and the points that are coming from it. Something I did like? Well, a bunch of times we forced a turnover that led directly to a bucket. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen a few more times after the half. And just to talk about what we want for the pace of the game, I'd say nice and steady suits us just fine. It doesn't have to be a track meet. And that's all I wanted to go over with you. Let's go play a good half of basketball.